Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you guys how to do something that took me a long time to figure out because there are no videos on how to do this as far as I know. And I originally tried to do this in Blender, but I think it's a limitation of Blender that you simply can't do this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe this is even possible in Blender. If I am wrong, please make a video and show me because I could not find any information on how to do this in Blender. And the cursor inside of Blender does not allow you to take on the rotation of the thing. It only allows you to take on the location, which is why you can't do this in Blender. So anyway, there are situations where inside of games, for example, where you want to attach the head separately to the skeleton as well as the other pieces. You want to have them separated. That way you can apply chaos physics to them. Or if you have a vehicle and the wheels are weighted to the skeleton, but you want to treat all the separate parts as nanite, or you want to treat the wheels as chaos vehicle wheels, then you can't have the wheels weighted to a skeleton. And so you would want to connect them to the skeleton if you still want to use the skeleton for animation and stuff. So anyway, that's what this is about. We're going to, in order to be able to do that, you need the pivot of that object to match the location and rotation of the bone. And so what you would do is you would get your character like he is now, and you would just separate all these pieces. I'm not going to show you how to do that in here. This was actually done in Blender by somebody else, and they had me doing this for them. But anyway, inside of here, you would go into your modeling mode. You would select the object. You would come over here to mesh and separate. And that's pretty much it. So maybe unparent as well. But anyway, I'm just going to show you how to do this part. So you can do all of this in Blender, or you can do it right here in Maya if you want, as far as separating those. But if you didn't notice what I was doing, I was pressing these double bars right here to separate them, as well as this, because the only things we're going to need is 4 buttons: match, pivot, freeze transforms, parent, and unparent. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the settings. These are the settings. Preserve position for parent, but for unparent, you want preserve position to be unchecked. For match pivot, you want rotation and orientation checked, but not scale. So that's pretty much it. As far as freeze transform goes, that should be the default. So anyway, these do have a negative 90-degree offset, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze that transform. I don't actually know how to properly handle that inside of Maya. I'm kind of a noob at Maya, but I figured this out in less than 30 minutes, and I figured I'd share it with you guys. So I will show you how to fix that negative 90-degree offset, which will be introduced into the rotation whenever you go to import it into Unreal Engine, just in case you guys have the same issue. So anyway, make sure everything is zeroed out. All your pieces, translation and rotation, are zeroed out. What you're going to do is you're going to select the thing you want to match the pivot for, and you want to control select the thing you want to match the pivot to. Then you're going to press match pivot. You can select it and go into location mode or move mode, and make sure that the pivots match each other, the orientation too, because if you move this out of the way, you'll see world location is X points right and Y points up, Z points back, and that's the orientation of things in Maya. But you'll see now this is oriented to the bones component space or mesh space in Unreal terminology, and that's what we want. We want it to match the bone. So after we've matched the pivot, we're going to do the same thing. First select the hip, and then select the pelvis, and then we're going to press parent, freeze transform because this will be selected, and then we're going to unparent it. And that's it. Now it should go back down to the ground at the center of the world, and it should rotate in a funny way, and that's fine. That's because it's now oriented to the bone. And so you can go and export selection and then name it, and that's it. Now I named mine UE4 Mani Hip, and I did the same thing for all the other ones, UE4 Mani Thigh. So I'll go ahead and show you this again. Once you've got this down, you're going to match pivot, parent, and when you parent it, only the translation should have numbers. The rotation should be zeroed out if you did this right. If the rotation has numbers on it, then you didn't do this right. So you match pivot, parent, freeze transform, that zeroes it out, and then you unparent it. Then you can export it. Again, once you get this down, I did that backwards, my bad. And so I'll go ahead and show you again, just in case I did that last one wrong. First select the calf, then the calf R, match pivot, parent, freeze transform, unparent. Match pivot, parent, freeze transform, unparent. That's basically it, guys. So now we are going to take these into Unreal Engine, and we'll handle them from there. All right, guys. So now we're going to import them. So go to the folder and open, and add a. If yours had a negative 90-degree offset, if they started with a negative 90-degree offset inside of Maya on the x-axis, then you need to add a negative 90 on the import rotation under the transform, and then just say import all. Let's do, thought I had static mesh filter here. There we go. And then select all of these, drag them onto here. And then start, you see? So it's really easy to do this inside of Maya, but I never could figure out how to do it inside of Blender, and I don't think you can actually. It's sad. It's actually kind of disappointing because I've came across many cases where I needed to be able to do that, and for whatever reason, you just can't do it in Blender. You either can't do it in Blender, or it's so hard to do that you just it's not something that most people would, I guess, be able to figure out. So, I mean, there you go. Now, I don't have any materials applied to this, and that's probably the reason why it looks funny. Yeah. Either that or somebody messed with the UVs whenever they were, like I said, I didn't prepare this. So if somebody messed up the UVs, then that might have been the reason why this one, yeah, I think they messed up the UVs. They sure did. Oh, sorry, bro. I did it. Uh, anyway, there you go, guys. I hope you found this helpful. I know I would have. I wish somebody would have made a video like this so that I could have figured it out without uh, having to try to manually rotate things into place. Uh, anyway, yeah, if you found this helpful, make sure to like down below and subscribe. We have a Discord too if you want to join, and I will see you in the next video.